Hello, I'm Logic Bunny, and come with me down the rabbit hole of knowledge.
Ever stood beneath a sky full of stars, feeling so incredibly small, yet so deeply pulled to understand the vast, silent stories they tell? Or perhaps you have gazed up at a towering mountain, a monumental presence, and wondered about the immense, patient forces that shaped it, piece by tiny piece, over countless eons. There is a quiet ache, a yearning in our spirits to comprehend the grandest achievements, the most profound mysteries that whisper to us from the distant past or the depths of the universe. Sometimes the world feels too vast, too complex, too full of secrets hidden behind ancient dust or dense scientific language. It is a feeling many of us know, a frustration when a grand mystery beckons, but the path to understanding feels obscured, tangled, like trying to navigate a forest without a clear trail. You want to touch the truth, to really know how something so incredible came to be, but the explanations often feel dry, or worse, they just aren't there in a way that truly connects with your curious heart. This can make the journey of learning feel like a heavy burden, rather than the thrilling adventure it was always meant to be, leaving a sense of disconnect from the very ingenuity that shapes our world. But what if I told you that even the most monumental puzzles, like the pyramids reaching for the heavens, aren't just impossibilities veiled in myth? What if they are profound whispers of human ingenuity, waiting patiently for us to lean in, listen closely, and unravel their powerful logic? Imagine the sheer will, the collective mind, the brilliant, step-by-step thinking that allowed ancient hands to sculpt stone into wonders that defy time itself. It is not magic, though it certainly feels like it, but rather the profound, beautiful dance of the human spirit with the unwavering, elegant laws of the natural world. Today, we are going to embark on a journey, not just through history, but through the very essence of problem solving, a journey that honors the spirit of inquiry within each of us. We will dive deep into the ingenious engineering that allowed ancient civilizations to achieve what seems utterly impossible to us now, transforming colossal challenges into solvable feats. We will discover the simple, yet profound, principles they harnessed, the very same principles that govern our world today and are available to anyone who seeks to understand. Prepare to have your mind blown not by supernatural tales, but by the sheer, undeniable power of human intellect and the unwavering logic of our universe. Because every grand achievement, every solved mystery, every moment of profound understanding begins with a single, curious question and the courage to seek its answer. Have you ever felt that quiet whisper of doubt when looking at something truly monumental, something that seems utterly beyond human capability? A silent frustration can creep in, making the idea of ancient people building wonders like the pyramids feel impossible. In those moments, when our minds grapple with something so grand yet so distant from our modern tools, the easy escape often presents itself. It must have been something beyond us, perhaps even alien. It feels simpler to believe in a fantastical explanation than to truly dig into the human ingenuity that made it possible. This often stems from a common distortion in our thinking, a belief that only advanced technology, only the marvels of our current age, could possibly achieve such monumental feats. We look at modern construction with cranes and computers, then turn to the pyramids and think, how could they do that without any asterisk of this? We forget the profound power of simple physics, the relentless application of collective human effort, and the brilliant observations of the natural world that laid the very foundation for all our modern advancements. It is like looking at a magnificent tree and forgetting the tiny seed and the patient, consistent work of sun and soil that brought it forth. But here is the beautiful, counterintuitive truth. Often, the most complex-looking problems have the simplest, most elegant solutions rooted in basic physics and clever observation. To discern this truth, we can embrace a powerful, three-step method from the heart of empirical sciences. First, Observe the problem with an open, inquiring mind, seeing what truly needs to be overcome. Second, identify the constraints understanding the limits of materials, tools, and the environment. And finally, experiment with simple solutions, testing basic ideas, refining them, and allowing natural laws to guide the path forward. Your mind, in its incredible complexity, is like a magnificent machine, and sometimes it needs to be recalibrated with simple truths to see the gears turning clearly. What if we allowed ourselves to be truly amazed by human brilliance, rather than seeking explanations beyond our reach? Have you ever read about ancient civilizations and felt a pang of frustration, seeing their incredible achievements described, but never truly understanding how it is like being told a magnificent story, but having all the crucial details of its making left out, leaving you to wonder if these builders were almost mythical figures, rather than brilliant, practical problem solvers just like us. This can make the past feel distant, disconnected, as if their world operated on a different set of rules, making it hard to appreciate the true depth of their human ingenuity. There is a quiet myth that sometimes whispers in our minds, suggesting our ancestors lacked the scientific understanding for truly complex construction. We might imagine them fumbling or simply not having the brains for such grand projects, leading us to underestimate their true capabilities. But this idea shatters when we realize that their high-tech was not about microchips or massive engines, but about a profound intimacy with the most foundational laws of physics. They observed the world, understood its forces, and then moved mountains, quite literally using simple machines that were, for their era, nothing short of revolutionary. Imagine trying to push a huge stone slab straight up a wall. It feels impossible, right? Now, picture that same slab being pulled slowly, patiently, up a long, gentle slope, an inclined plane. This simple, elegant solution allowed ancient engineers to conquer gravity with surprising efficiency, transforming immense weight into manageable effort. Levers, ramps, and rollers were their secret weapons, turning what seemed like an impossible task into a solvable one through clever observation and persistent application of basic physics. Our brains, sometimes seeking the immediate thrill or the flashy answer, might overlook the quiet satisfaction and profound power found in understanding these fundamental scientific principles. But there is a deep, abiding wonder in realizing that the same laws that govern a playground slide also enabled the construction of the pyramids. What profound truths might we be overlooking in our everyday world, simply because they seem too simple? Have you ever felt a quiet, almost embarrassing thought bubble up when looking at something truly massive, like, how did they even organize all those people without computers? It is a hidden anxiety, this fear of asking a dumb question, and it can make us disengage from the sheer, mind-boggling scale of ancient logistics, leaving us feeling overwhelmed before we even begin to understand. We often focus so much on the magnificent what, the towering pyramid itself, that we overlook the equally astounding who and how, the thousands of brilliant minds and coordinated hands behind its planning and execution. The true inquisitive explorers of their time. There is a powerful truth waiting to shatter our expectations. The logistical and human power engineering required for these mega projects was as complex, as intricately designed, as the physical construction itself. Imagine the precision needed, not just in cutting the stone at the quarry, but in coordinating its transport across miles of desert, in managing thousands of workers, and in placing each massive block with pinpoint accuracy. This wasn't chaos, it was a symphony of organization, a marvel of ancient project management that rivals anything we do today. Think of a young, curious mind, perhaps frustrated that a heavy toy block won't just float into place. The unyielding law of gravity and mass teaches a profound lesson. But then comes the yes, the understanding that with a ramp, a lever or a group working together, that impossible block suddenly becomes movable. This is the essence of ancient engineering, appreciating the limits, then finding ingenious ways to overcome them through organized effort, teamwork, and a clear, shared vision. The overwhelm we sometimes feel from complexity can sabotage our belief in their methods, making us overlook how human coordination, the power of repetition, and an unwavering vision can conquer even the most colossal tasks. What colossal tasks in our own lives are simply waiting for us to apply the logic of coordinated effort and a clear plan. Have you ever felt that heavy sigh of procrastination when faced with something that seems incredibly complex, like understanding ancient technology? It is easy to think that you need a history degree or expensive equipment, that this kind of knowledge is only for experts, leading to a quiet disinterest before you even begin. This feeling often comes from a common distortion, believing that all true learning must happen within the rigid walls of a classroom, rather than through the exhilarating, hands-on exploration and safe experimentation that can happen right in your own home, with everyday materials. But prepare to have your expectations shattered in the most wonderful way. What if I told you that you can actually recreate the core principles of ancient lifting and moving techniques with items you probably have around you right now? Imagine turning abstract history into tangible, exciting science right on your kitchen table. The same fundamental physics that allowed ancient Egyptians to lift colossal stones can be felt and understood by simply moving a heavy book with a spoon. Think about lifting something heavy directly. It is hard, right? Now, picture placing that heavy book on one end of a ruler or a sturdy stick and putting a small, round object, like a pencil, underneath the ruler near the book. Press down on the other end of the ruler. Do you feel how much easier it is to lift the book now? This is a lever, a principle as old as time, yet as powerful as any modern machine. Or imagine placing that same heavy book on several round pencils and pushing it across a table. The pencils act as rollers, drastically reducing friction, making the impossible task of moving something immense suddenly quite manageable. When you finally feel how a lever multiplies your force, how rollers make heavy things glide, it is more than just a scientific principle understood. It is a quiet healing for that wounded intellectual curiosity, a gentle whisper that no knowledge is truly too hard to grasp. It replaces doubt with confidence, proving that the spirit of inquiry, combined with simple observation and experimentation, can unlock even the grandest mysteries. What else in your world feels too complex, waiting for a simple experiment to reveal its truth? Have you ever felt a tug-of-war in your mind when faced with conflicting information, like wild alien theories about the pyramids battling against solid archaeological evidence? This cognitive dissonance, this feeling of intellectual frustration, can make us want to throw up our hands and disengage from historical truth altogether. It is a quiet pain, this struggle to reconcile what sounds exciting with what our logic truly knows, often leading us to a fatal mistake, accepting sensational claims without applying the magnifying glass of critical thinking, thereby missing the deeper, more satisfying joy of true discovery. There is a powerful, shattering expectation waiting for us, the realization that the most convincing evidence for impossible feats often crumbles under the weight of simple logic, careful observation, and documented history. It reveals not aliens, but elegant human solutions born from brilliant minds and tireless effort. Think about the common pyramid mystery of perfectly cut stones, or the impossible precision of their alignment. Many jump to advanced lost technology or extraterrestrial help. But what if we consider that ancient stonemasons used basic, yet incredibly effective, tools like copper chisels, mallets, and abrasive sands combined with immense patience and a deep understanding of geometry? They weren't just cutting stone, they were sculpting it with a reverence for precision, using methods that, while slow, were astonishingly accurate over time. This is our myth versus reality challenge. Instead of believing that only lasers could achieve straight lines, we can understand how simple plumb bobs, stretched ropes, shatters, and careful leveling with water could guide builders to incredible accuracy. The sheer scale and repetition over decades allowed for a level of perfection that we, in our rush for instant gratification, might initially dismiss. Approaching history is truly like becoming a detective. We must sift through clues, the evidence left behind, with the magnifying glass of science and logic, rather than just believing the first dramatic story we hear. This builds not just knowledge, but your own informed perspective, a powerful shield against misinformation. What other historical mysteries are waiting for your inner detective to unravel them with the light of critical thinking? We have journeyed together through the sands of time, peering into the very heart of ancient wonders, and what a profound story they tell. We started with that quiet ache, that nagging feeling of impossibility when faced with something so grand, so ancient, that it seemed to defy human touch. Remember that initial whisper of doubt, the frustration of feeling that some truths were just too complex, too far removed from our understanding. We welcomed that feeling, knowing that beneath it lay a fierce, beautiful curiosity, a yearning to truly no asterisk. What we have seen is not magic, nor the hand of the otherworldly, but the undeniable, breathtaking power of human ingenuity. We have witnessed how ancient builders, far from being primitive, were brilliant engineers, masters of observation and application. They harnessed the simple, elegant principles of levers, ramps, and rollers, the very same basic physics that govern our world today, to achieve feats that still stand thousands of years later, whispering their secrets to those willing to listen. They understood that the most colossal challenges often yield to the most patient, logical, and coordinated efforts. This journey, however, is not just about old rocks and forgotten techniques. It is a powerful testament to your own capacity for understanding, for problem solving, for critical thinking. It is about realizing that careful observation, the relentless spirit of inquiry, and the courage to apply basic scientific principles can unravel any big problem you encounter, whether it is a mystery from history or a challenge in your daily life. Just as Ibarra from Manuel do Mundo always shows us, the coolest experiments aren't about magic. They are about understanding the simple how-to behind the awesome what. You now carry within you the tools to look at the world's unsolvable mysteries with a new, curious, and critically discerning eye. In a world often filled with noise and quick answers, remember the quiet satisfaction of true discovery. Remember the feeling of that heavy book lifting with a simple lever or gliding with rollers? That moment of clarity, that spark of understanding, is a balm for the spirit, healing the belief that some knowledge is just too hard to grasp. It connects you to the timeless lineage of human explorers, thinkers, and builders. So, go forth, experiment with the world around you, question what seems impossible, and remember, the greatest discoveries often come from understanding the simplest truths, and your own unwavering curiosity is the most powerful tool you possess. What seemingly impossible challenge in your own life is simply waiting for you to apply the patient logic of observation and simple solutions?